Welcome to the Second Win Boxing Media. I'm your host, Rashid Hammond, and alongside
It's your boy Caesar Fantastic. And today, bro, we got some things to talk about. You hear me? Um, in lieu of all the fights not happening. You know what I'm saying? You got Spence and Crawford not happening. You got looking like Tank and Ryan. That's that's in limbo. You know what I mean? You got what Fury and Joshua not even happening. You got nothing. Nothing's happening. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just dive into, man, what you feel like the state of boxing is. Like, where you think it's heading, man?
man, it's getting pretty prima donna-ish, man. If I'm using, if that's a word, I don't think it is, but it's
They
it's
use it.
it's now to the point where um we gonna have to let these promoters know that and I think they're already getting the picture because from what's being said all over from different sources and different people that I've been speaking with, that the people are showing signs that they're not pleased with what's going on. A lot of networks are being shut down or halted until issues get resolved. And I truly think the state of boxing is dwindling, man. It's so prima donna. Now, I'm not a big fan of UFC's Dana White, right?
Dana White, yeah.
I'm not a big fan of his, and I'm not against him. I'm just not a big fan of him. But he definitely had a point. He was just like he didn't want to go on that side because he felt as though boxing is a little prima donna, like it's too many political strings that you have to pull to get things done. I mean, we literally, Sean, since January, when we started this, about March or April, around that time,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
the fights that we were predicting to happen, all of them fell through.
Hello.
They didn't happen. None of
Hello.
them happened.
It's crazy. It's crazy how you could, you know what I mean? You got so much hype around fights that could go down and be mega fights, big paydays for guys. And these promotion companies, they spoon feed them. You know what I mean? They babysit them. They put the fighters in a bind where it looked like the fighter ducking. And I mean, I'm a person who believe that ain't no fighter gonna duck nobody.
Right.
They fighters. They warriors, natural warriors. You know what I'm saying? They get in that ring and put it all on the line no matter what. Like they fighters. So I could truly say that I don't think no fighter would be like, nah, I don't want to fight him. I don't care. You see guys going into fights, we go to some of these showcase fights and you see guys going into these fights, they 4-12.
Right.
And they coming in there saying, you know what, man, I'm going to win.
Exactly.
They going in there giving it they all. Not going in there folding for nothing. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't think no fighter's ducking, but I put all the blame on these promotion companies and I put a large part of the blame on the power that they've given these networks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? These networks they got too much power right now, bro. They're me.
They do.
Because you got this Tank and Ryan, they not ducking each other.
No.
They both said sign it, man. I want to fight. But now so that's been agreed to. And promoters and everything, they've agreed to whatever, but the networks are blocking everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's the last line of defense that you can get past, and it's like they can't get past that, man. I don't know what they got to do to be able to get past that, but something got to be done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree, man. That's why I've been hesitant about doing shows. Like, what is it to do? Everything's getting canceled.
Man, everything you talk about,
and all of us are displeased. So it's the same conversations on every YouTube channel, every YouTube station. They're saying the same thing. Everybody's really upset about the whole entire situation that's taking place. I mean, I miss the old days, man, when Hagler and Ray had made it happen, and even some fights in our era. When remember the tournament that happened between two of our legendary DMV boxing legends, Keith Holmes, Felix Trinidad. Then you had William Joppy and You had the Bernard Hopkins, and we really was tuned in to those days when the best fought the best, and
Let's fight the best,
that
man.
was everybody was on the same network, and that's what make things happen. It's like, I'm starting to see ESPN and Top Rank. They having great fighters, but that's on one side of the world. So
I like what they do over there,
I
but
do too.
I'm liking what they do because they kept the pure nature of boxing as far as the regular TV. You know what I mean?
Right.
You can get paid off regular TV. They could get their money off advertising and all that type of stuff. Like, with they might have to change their business model. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because they're trying to force feed every fight as a pay-per-view, and it's just not that.
Yeah, PBC.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, they've been pay-per-viewing us to death lately,
Man, they trying to do 2 a month type stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it's not. That's what's killing them. That's what I think is killing them.
It's a failed model when you got people streaming now, and you know what I mean. You gotta find a way to get past that. Like, look, put it on TV, up the ad revenue. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Up the sponsorships. Now, stop trying to put the burden on the fans as much. You know what I mean? For the big fights, okay, put the burden on me. I got you. You know what I mean? But you giving us non-championship fights, not even eliminators, not, you know what I'm saying? Like not ranked 5 versus 8. And you like, well, that's a pay-per-view. Like,
that's facts,
champ, that's not it.
Facts.
Like, nah, you know what I mean? And that's also, it's also stalling the growth of some of these fighters because they're hitting on pay-per-view. You know what I mean? You can't get. That's how Top Rank is doing. They putting all their young fighters on ESPN. You know what I mean? So they getting that footprint out there. People seeing them. People getting to know who they are.
Right.
If you got folks like Boots that's on undercards or pay-per-views, people ain't seeing them as much. You know what I mean? You could get 1 million people looking at ESPN, but you might get couple 100,000 on a good pay-per-view.
And that's a loss right there. Plus it's more to it than just chasing the bag. Or, even though the bag is important because the boxing is a dangerous sport, they deserve the reward. But at the same time, they had the model. PBC had the formula. They had the formula. When they brought Ray Leonard back out and they had him commentating. They brought Lennox Lewis out. They were doing shows on regular TV.
Fox
were
Sports.
getting what we were looking for. Like it finally came.
And that was a pump in boxing. That just got the blood bubbling for boxing again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That got people back in tune because it was like, you know what I mean? Everything was HBO shows. For it to come back on regular TV,
it was a big deal.
It was like, oh Lord,
yes.
It's a throwback to like the 70s, 80s type thing.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And it was so exciting to see the amount of talent that came out of that core group during that time. Once the split between Golden Boys, when he took the Golden Boy fighters and brought them all over the PBC, and there was something special about that. I thought boxing was going to the next level, and PBC had it in their back pocket. They cornered the market for a second there.
Then Greed got involved,
and then Al Heyman. I mean, I'm sorry, not Al Heyman. Wrong name. Bob Erms definitely been in the game for a long time, and Al Heyman is a spectacular manager. A lot of these guys that I do know, I will stay and I will stick to this script that you heard me say many times, is these guys are becoming wealthy. They're getting more money than most fighters have ever had. But at the same time, you want to be rewarded and appreciate the fans through that money that you're making. Give them the best that they can get. The Tank and Ryan Garcia fight should definitely been signed and sealed. The Terrence Crawford and Spence fight was a disaster. I'm still I'm about to. it's a goddamn shame
It's a shame, man.
that this fight's not happening. I'm gonna corner this. Spence and Crawford are the Riddick Bowe Lennox Lewis 2.0.
That's it.
That's what we gonna start calling y'all from here on out. Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe 2.0. The great fight that never happened. Y'all been talking shit to each other for the past 5 goddamn years.
Mm-hmm.
And this shit bellied out like that.
Just flop.
We were just sitting there ready to see this. November should have been, it's here. The fight should have been happening this week, next week, or whenever, and history would have been made. Okay, so he's gonna fight some no name for what, $10 million?
Possibly
or whatever the
10,
amount, 15, 10, up to 10, lowest.
Up to 8 figures. So it's
right,
but
damn, God,
it's
damn.
up to though. So
That's
they did
crazy.
preface that with the words up to. You got to remember those 2 words.
Oh, yeah, those 2. That means something. Right.
Yeah, I mean, you can make $1 if you don't put that on sale. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, but yeah, you making up to 8 figures in that fight. What'd you think about that move?
Oh, man, I thought it was fighting-wise is a great move. As a fighter, it's a great move 4 turns to make for payday-wise, yes.
It's a good payday. I ain't
but
mad at the bet.
It's a blemish on the spot. Right now, that's just like going to what can I use for example? That's just like going to buy a Bentley or a Rolls Royce, right? That's like anxious to get that Rolls Royce and had to settle for a Chrysler 500. Plus pay
but they got the
almost
grill,
the same price for it though.
Kirk, how good.
Damn.
It's a fact though. It's a fact though. Geeking to pay for this fight, and then you're going to have to pay for this.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna pay for this, but
right.
Yeah, I'm not mad at him getting the bag. I never hate on nobody getting no money. You know what I mean? Hard to get money out here, so I ain't mad at that. I wish him the best. You know, it's some things coming out about them peoples, but you know, that's not for me to talk about.
Yeah.
But
you see, here's some weird stuff going on with
money some weird
wise,
things about it. But
they shady a little bit from what's
I'm hoping that's, you know, back then or water under the bridge is not even true. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to see them men get their monies, get paid, and I want to see everybody succeed. So, but yeah, man. And then with Tank and Ryan, man.
What fell out on that, John? What was the issue with that?
Networks. They don't want to split. Showtime said they shouldn't have to split with the Zone or something like that. Like, you know
Showtime's
what I mean?
at the point they don't want to. They need it. So
they trying to like, man, we want to get everything we can. And the Zone like, nah, we can't do it unless we get part of the U.S. revenue. I mean, it's 2 U.S. fighters, so I can understand that, right? But man, it's y'all based in UK, so it's just, you know, it's too much. It's
crazy.
Too many technicalities involved with these networks that, you know what I'm saying, where everybody want their piece of the bag. It's like, bro, like, come on, man, like
exactly. Man, somebody been listening to your podcast lately. Listen to the podcast lately because I was listening to after the Jake Paul's fight. The press release, the press, after fight, post press release, talking union talk.
Oh yeah, they were.
Yeah, talking union talk.
I've been standing on that bucket for a minute.
They've been talking union talk between boxing and MMA. Silver and Jake Paul was creating something for fighters, like insurance and benefits and things of that nature, as well as protections and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I said, damn, I wish Sean would have saw this, you know what I'm saying? Because I was asleep. I woke up to hearing that.
Yeah, you saw
So
yeah.
that's a great idea, because that's what you basically been lobbying this
I've been standing on
for the
that
past
for a
few
minute.
months. So I understand, man. And I think it's a great idea. It's definitely necessary. And it need to be more controlled with one central. Keep the different states, right? Keep your state sanctioning body rules, because each state has different laws, and that should change. But they have to create some form of one entity overseeing all of those things.
A governing body.
One governing body overseeing all 50 states.
Mm-hmm.
And you may get some changes in result of that. You know what I'm saying? And because you got to create a collecting and bargaining. How can we create this collectively collective bargaining?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been to work for a long time, so collective bargaining. How can we create something in place to help fighters with their health, insurance if they get hurt, if the family members get hurt? Now, this is going to require a bit of lobbying to get these things, because like when you're talking insurance and things of that nature, that's going to require legislative a legislative move to put in place such things, because life insurance policies have a greater value, and insurance has a greater value that requires legislatively being handled. So we got to lobby the politician and a politician to form such groups. Like I have plenty of lobbyist friends and people that's powerful in the lobbying aspects of it. You know what I'm saying? He gives me strategies and things of that nature to use if I was to do such. But it's definitely required to have it legislatively by a politician to say, listen, boxing is dangerous and we have to start monitoring it to the point where these guys are able to be protected, as well as their retirement plans. The promoter has to put a percentage of the earnings into a trust fund or things of that nature. The collective bargaining agreement must be this, vice versa. Excuse me. As well as dust terrible in here. As well as we need to form some protection plans in place for fighters. Yearly checkups, things of that nature. A percentage of the purse, and fighters must put up 5%, same way they do for the governing boxing sanction bodies that fight them. You know, that fighters should each, if you live in that state, you should pay this amount to go towards your savings, thrift savings account or something of that nature.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy, man. Got all these other sports and they all have regulations. Government stepped in and regulate certain aspects of them, you know what I mean? And for boxing to be labeled as a poor man's sport, they just leave that alone, huh?
Facts.
It's crazy to me, man. So yeah, I think something has to be done to protect fighters, you know what I mean? And to protect fighters' legacy as well. Like, to me, as far as like I was saying, all these sanctioning bodies and networks and promoters and all these, they have too much power, man.
Yeah.
And if all fighters were unionized together and stand up together, you know what I mean, they can take chunks of that power back. You know what I mean? And I'm always a fan of fighters and just the regular average worker as well getting their power back. You know what I mean? Yeah, man.
But I agree, man. Like take the power back, man. For a sport to be so old as it is, it should have figured it out by now. Especially
Right
all the
now.
losses of lives, the countless people die broke from it.
The
Things of that nature. It's the small percentage of people running is too much power in the sport. They're too powerful.
You don't have nobody, nothing as far as schooling or anything teaching these young men how to manage money, maintain money, keep
Right.
money, invest money, do what to do with your money. We're giving you all this money, but
Jay
go
Paul
on.
mentioned that as well. They were talking about creating like financial schools and things of that nature to educate the fighters on how to spend their money and things of that nature.
Yeah, spend your money, how to do your taxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they mentioned that too. Exactly.
You're dealing with a lot of money. You have to deal with a lot of taxes. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Facts.
And you know, they know you don't know certain things. Your accountants, slide this extra 100,000 to me. Then you know what
Exactly.
I mean?
Exactly. But yeah,
they need
man. What else? It was something else I wanted to discuss too. I know those fights are not going through. What is coming up that's going to be great for us? You think, man, fight wise? You said Big Baby just got his license back, right?
Yeah, Gerald Miller, right? Yeah, Gerald Miller. Yeah, he just got his license back in Nevada, so he should be coming back soon. We'll see what he got left, but yeah, I guess Earl got his announcement coming this week. Nobody know who that's gonna be. People assuming that it's Thurman. I'm like, he said he won't fight Thurman, so that's interesting. You know what I mean?
At first, I would if you go back and listen to the record of one of our podcasts, I agreed that I didn't want to see that because of how he was carrying Spence.
Yeah.
But this day and time, make it happen.
I mean, at this point, like let him go ahead and beat him. You know what I mean?
Get him out of there, yeah. But it might as well just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, everybody calling for Boots, and I mean, I wouldn't be mad at the Boots fight. I want the Boots fight, but if Boots fight Earl, people clamoring for Boots for Earl and Boots to fight. And I said this before, and I said again, I like the fight. I want Boots to fight Earl, but I really do want Boots to fight someone like a Thurman or someone on a Thurman's level before he gets to Earl, because you can make the claim that Boots' resume is a little light. You know what I'm saying? Even though he's showing the skills and everything. You know what I mean? It's just give him that one big fight, and then I think he'll be ready to take on those big guys. And then you have Virgil Ortiz. He's the number 2 in the WBC. You know what I mean? But that's a golden boy thing. So I doubt if that happens. Stanionis is trying to get the fight as well. I'm not here for that. So if it's anybody, I mean, Thurman would be the best option, but I'm just still like, oh man, the Crawford fight was it for me. And then go ahead up to 54, Spence. You done did your thing. You know what I mean?
Excuse me. I don't know what's going on with me today, brother.
It's all good.
I never lying this much on the live, man. Dang.
And on the jump.
right. Usually I'm off the camera with it, but man.
Yeah, but Fundora also said he'd come down to fight him at 47. Fundora come down to 47, man.
But I think Spence should go ahead and move up, man. Go ahead and move up. Hell with this shit, man.
But moving up, he really want this undisputed thing, man.
That guy don't want to give it to him, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, would you go up and just say forget the undisputed?
He been real. I'm trying to figure out which one of the two he's been. Is Earl Spence being real I ain't gonna say Earl. Is Crawford being Lennox Lewis or Riddick Bowe? Which one is which? I'm just
Man, because
joking,
they
man.
both gonna say the other one, Riddick Bowe,
Exactly.
'cause they
Yeah, because I
both
blame
got,
Riddick on that one though. Forget
yeah,
that. That's Riddick.
yeah.
Riddick didn't want that work.
I blame him too. I ain't gonna,
Yeah, yeah.
but
So we got to
yeah,
blame Crawford on this one, man.
yeah, he stepped away, but then he could
Yeah,
say, man, they lowballed me, they did
yeah.
this, they trying to take this, and you know what I mean? I don't trust Al,
Oh man.
There's a lot going on in that, man. I'm like, man,
Yeah,
it was too much, man. I just want to fight, man.
man.
You know
Likewise,
what I
man.
mean? I just want to fight. Both of y'all get paid the same amount. I don't care. Like 5 million each, whatever. Just get
Right.
it over with at this point.
Well, things falling through. We were scheduled today to have
Yeah.
Zaire Rahim on the show. He will be on there tomorrow. We'll have him on tomorrow on the show. Got a special guest as well that's going to be a surprise for him that will be on the show. And it just stay tuned and see who this surprise will be. It's put it like this: he's a fellow member of the team as well. So just be on the lookout for the special surprise to come on the show tomorrow night. We will be back live with Zaire Rahim, 1996 Olympian, WBC champion at I think that was like the silver or something, or the gold or something of that nature, or back then intercontinental titles. But he was definitely one of the guys came up in my era. He's from the 96. I was in that era, same weight class. I just came from JO to open and was looking forward to, possibly meeting him at the Golden Gloves, but he didn't fight that tournament. But dude, man, was a truth, man. He was one of the greats, man. He still is. He's a legend, and he's also a Philadelphia, Pennsylvania Hall of Famer. So please tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. 8:30. Is it 8:30 tomorrow? 9 p.m. Tune in tomorrow at 9 p.m. and check out the episode. It's going to be great. It's going to be a spectacular surprise. Will be on the podcast as well, man. I'm learning now to move in a different form, man. Because the game has changed all the way around. We gotta it's more. So it's all good, man.
That is all we got today. You feel me? That's it for us, man. Second Win Boxing Media. Peace.